it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Modesto, tacos, tequila, whiskey here, right next to walk-ons. Just a short little walk over to Tiger Stadium. A really nice day. We're out on the patio here at
Great day.
Modesto. Yeah, the
Great day.
temperatures are very mild today. We got some sun out, and
A little warmer, Charlie, but here in Modesto, you got the patio where we are today, and you're in the shade, but also it's always a little bit of a breezeway here.
uh-huh.
So it's a nice, I'm, we were kind of 50-50 on to go indoors, outdoors. I got a feeling, Charlie. We made a good call
I
here.
think you
We made a
did.
good call, Charlie.
I think you did. I think you did the right thing.
There we go.
Here.
We'll be
Uh,
next door at Walk-Ons tomorrow. So it's
well,
kind of our Burbank swing, huh?
yep, absolutely.
From Mike Anderson. I mean, listen, people. Charlie is very picky on how much gas mileage he uses. So he lives right over the hump,
Very centrally located.
right over the bright side hump of Nicholson. And so from Mike Anderson's to Modesto to Walk-Ons, okay? So does that suffice, my man?
Yeah,
Huh?
we're absolutely.
We aim to please here.
Absolutely.
Live at lunch.
You know, and the other thing
You get
is,
fed today too, huh? Get some little food?
yes.
Huh?
Oh,
Okay.
well, yeah. I mean, look, they feed you well over here, and the specialty margaritas, by the way.
I like the berry, the skinny berry.
The skinny berry.
It's
Okay.
good.
There's a
good.
pineapple one that is interesting, and there's one with I'm gonna butcher this, but it's the hot sauce. It's got a little not Tabasco, but it's got a little bit of a.
Not the tahini seasoning,
It's spicy.
Okay.
Is the word I'm looking for.
Sometimes they can just drop
Very,
a
very.
jalapeno in there, and that does
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's a jalapeno type.
Now,
of,
Charlie, you had to dig for
that's it.
jalapeno?
No. I was just. It's spicy. I was just looking for the right word. And
Well, jalapeno's as old as when you first said what's your first nachos at the ballpark or at the stadium? Mine was a
Superdome.
jazz game. Yeah, Superdome
Superdome.
jazz
It
game.
was Saints for me. But
And we're
Superdome.
like 10 years, 9 years,
Yeah.
10 years old. We're like, ooh, you gonna eat one of those spicy peppers?
Uncle Alex, yeah, he was.
There you go.
was right
God
there
bless
bringing
Uncle
that.
Alex.
Yep.
That damn Uncle Alex has still got you stuck on them Saints.
He's responsible.
Saints
When
are
I see
sellers.
him again one day,
Yes.
I'm gonna say, he did. Lots happened since yesterday. Lots happened in the last week, but yesterday LSU made it official that Verge Ausberry would be the permanent athletic director. This was just as we were going off the air. Um, Wade Rouse, Ray Roos. Every time I look at his name, I see Rouse. It's Roos.
It's Roos.
Every
Yeah,
every
okay.
time I look at it, in my head it's the other thing, but it's Roos.
Well, there's a lot of grocery stores.
He was named as the president, and then later yesterday afternoon, you had Verge named as the permanent athletic director. This from the time that Brian Kelly was fired to the the governor's statements, it looked like LSU was going to be out of, I hate to keep using the word alignment, but they were going to have at the very best a disjointed search. My problem with this from the very beginning was that LSU was going to do things out of order. That you were going to have a president, but you were going to have to go hire a coach before you hired an athletic director, and that was going to be uncomfortable. That was going to present you with some potential problems down the road. We've seen enough of these things. When athletic directors don't hire coaches, or when coaches go to work for athletic directors that didn't hire them, it can work. Don't get me wrong, but boy, it's a whole lot easier when you do
hurts
it
the hire.
the other way. What's that?
It hurts the hire.
Yeah,
It damages the hire.
It is a very difficult relationship. I made this analogy on Friday with Richard Dixon when we were doing the first hour. I said, this is like putting two people on a blind date and saying, you got to get married when it's over, okay? To have an AD and a coach that are not in sync. So
I'm lost for analogy, Charlie, but it just the coach, a coveted coach, getting a coach from a good situation who's having success and is making money, and they're willing to pay him more than originally when he accepted. So things are going good. You're gonna pull a guy where, wait a minute, who's going to be my boss? Because when y'all name
Yeah.
a permanent AD, he didn't hire me, and it's much easier for the guy that didn't hire him to launch him, and it's much easier for the coach. And we saw this with Woodward. Did he not get behind his hires?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean. So
So and then the last thing you wanted to see was the governor get involved. So, and certainly to get the governor involved publicly. So
publicly,
yeah,
because the governor's involved all over the place.
and I had no problem with the
Right.
governor being involved with the president's
It's
search.
the
He's
chain of command.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So from a week ago, and it was a week ago when Jeff Landry basically torpedoed Scott Woodward in public, that LSU's rallied. They really have. From putting Verge in place as the interim athletic director on Friday, we knew that the president would be hired on Tuesday. We were fairly certain it was Roos. Now the curveball was, would they put a chancellor in charge of the Baton Rouge campus, and they did that with James Dalton. And then, as quickly as can be said, and you got to figure that this was all part of the deal. They were in that executive session a long time yesterday for a decision that, on the president at least, seemed like a foregone conclusion. They came out of there with a plan, and their plan was to have Roos as the president, to have Dalton as the chancellor, and to have Verge as the athletic director. Then you have this committee that Verge is leading that has 5 members on it, of which Roos is going to have some input. And as a president, he should have some input, okay? Well, now you've alleviated the problem of a coach going to work for an athletic director that didn't hire him. The athletic director is going to hire this coach. You don't have a problem of an athletic director being saddled with a coach that he didn't hire. This athletic director is going to hire the coach, and the president, chancellor, they're all in line now. And the governor has been mercifully quiet on this front over the last 24 hours, and I hope that continues as far as athletics is
Yes.
concerned. Okay, so you got all of those things in place. That's a hell of a rally from where they were on Friday. Now you are doing things in the right order. I commend them. Okay, last Friday we blasted them. I'm gonna commend them. Okay, whether these are all the right people for the jobs, or you like them or don't like them, you can debate that. But they are doing things in the
Right.
right order. They're putting their people in the right places.
Agreed.
The next thing, um, out of an athletic director, what do you want? We've been through a few of these searches, Jimmy. The questions I get the most are: is he experienced? Is he an LSU guy? And is he a football guy?
Oh, you better.
I
I got one that trumps all of
it-
them. Can you excite your donors?
okay.
Can you raise money?
Yeah,
you raise
well,
money?
well,
Because-
raising money
because-
is.
because-
I'm talking about past athletic director things. This one is even more important.
We're in
Yes,
2025.
you're right.
So,
You're right.
I
Can you
mean,
raise money?
and all of those things count, okay?
Yeah.
Because what we said was, well, whoever you're going to replace Woody with, good luck finding a guy that's going to care about LSU as much as he does. Verge cares about LSU.
Yes, he's
Okay,
an LSU
okay.
guy and he's a football guy.
Yes. All right. But the other thing is that, can he raise as much money as Woody? That's probably not his expertise or his history, but he's got more of a football background than Woody, so it might balance. But we all agree that the coaches have to entertain boosters, get
Yeah.
them excited, and raise more money than usual. We can see that with different coaches. Lane Kiffin whines all the time. He's good at it. The basketball coach at NC State, he's good at it. The basketball coach here, not good at it. The football coach that just got fired wasn't good at it. But Woody kind of cleaned it up, and it's kind of a two-headed monster. So can Verge excite kind of be the two-headed monster with the next coach as far just play the game.
Yeah.
Be willing to play the game.
It's worth noting that the president used the word corporate funding yesterday in regards to research. Okay, this is the first president that I know that does not. The Dalton is more the academician. He's got more of the academic background. Roos, put together programs there. He's got more of a business background. And when he used the term corporate, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but corporate funding for things like research, it's like, okay, I suspect that you found your money man. Okay. The next thing is, is Verge experience? He's been in the athletic department since
Athletic
1991.
administration, he's got a lot of
He
experience.
is a dinosaur.
I mean, God.
He's been around for so long, and of course, he's a former player. Everybody knows that. But he's been involved in the academic end, fundraising, corporate relations. um, game management. He was with TAF. There's not a piece of the athletic department that Verge Ausberry is not very, very familiar with. Okay, I I was thinking this morning, Gordy's run our operation for going into going on 20 years, and the day he was hired, our owner came in and he says, "Look, Gordy has worked in every portion of this building. He's worked in sales. He's worked on the air. He's worked with the engineers. He's done budgeting. There's not he worked on our morning show on the country station. Remember Bull Rush? He was okay. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah,
not
yeah,
there wasn't
yeah.
a single piece of our business that Gordy hadn't worked in, boots on the ground, and you can say that about Verge as well. Um, the only thing he hasn't done is be the lead on a football coaching search. Well, most of the time, you get to do those with a lot of help. He's got a lot of help. Verge is not without fault. He It was a very bad Title IX situation that caused his suspension back post COVID. He served his suspension for that. That was a mistake. I think Verge would tell you that he made some mistakes in that, and he paid a penalty for it. So I'm not telling you that Verge has never made a misstep in the athletic department, but they went through that. There was a thorough investigation. They determined he had made mistakes. They punished him for it, and they moved on from that. So, in the interest of fairness, I have to mention that. Uh,
He's
what
a
kind of
survivor.
what kind of coach are they looking for? I'm more I'm more reminded than ever in the last 24 hours with people I've talked to that um, money is not going to be an impediment.
I don't think so either.
You know, if you think that given the governor's comments about the big buyouts last week are going to impede them on their search for a football coach, I would tell you I doubt it. If they do hire somebody that is making less than what Kelly made last year, it will be because that's the guy they decided on. But I don't think they're going to lose a guy over money. I really don't. I could be
Who
wrong.
clarified where the money is, whether it's coming from private donors or from taxpayers' money, in that media briefing last week? It was John Carmouche. Okay, and John Carmouche is involved in this, and he is also, um, it's easier to raise money when you're putting your own money up.
Yeah,
So I've heard plenty of donors, boosters, whatever, just even say that when they went to this event, I don't know, 9 months ago, whatever it was in the off season, to try and strum up some NIL, aka player budget. So, well, man, they're thinking like, well, why don't you put up some of your own money, Brian Kelly? Well, he did.
yeah.
Well, why did he do that? He didn't do it just because that was just wanted to contribute. That was it. To try and stimulate other contributions. It's easier to do so. Uh, we learned a lot
Yeah.
in this evolution of college football coaching changes and in administrative changes and everything else. But one thing I learned, and I think you can vouch for this as well, is that LSU's private donor bank is pretty strong. It's a willing. They got a handful of cats
Yeah.
who make it pretty strong collectively.
And I would also tell you that the financial base of the university's athletic department is pretty firm
Yes, yeah, you're
as
in
as
the
well.
SEC, and you're a
Yeah.
you're in the top half of the SEC or the upper branch, whatever, wherever you put them in the upper branch, that's fine.
And
They're
and
up
I-
there.
and I'm gonna go back to the interview I did with Scott Woodward before the opener. Every year we
Uh
sit
huh.
down, and I asked him about private equity, which is something that the Big Ten is getting in bed with. That schools like USC and Michigan have kind of said, "Hang on a second,
Hmm.
before we take all this cash from these people, what kind of input are they going to have?" And Woodward, as has Greg Sankey, was very very clear about this. We're not excited about that possibility. We have enough money. We Not only do we have enough money, we have enough credit that we really don't want for this big cash grab, this one-time cash grab, and it's in the billions for the Big Ten. We don't want to do that and cede control of any control of our operation to a hedge
It
fund
doesn't
or
fit for
whatever.
it doesn't fit for the guys on the top end. And give or take, LSU's football program is top 10 financial stability,
Yeah,
and their athletic department is probably in top 10 financial stability. Okay, no, that we're not talking about the elite. the ones in that. No, they're like LSU as far as getting private equity would be like Notre Dame getting a conference.
Yeah.
If
they were
they're in a good
cash-strapped,
situation.
yeah,
Yes,
LSU and the conference, if they were cash strapped, they would take. They would take this deal. So I think they're in very good shape there. So that's
a little
where we're at.
stability.
Yeah. They came a long way in 5 days.
And like we said, we can argue whether Verge is the right guy or not, but no, he's experienced. He's a football guy. Lord knows he's. I mean,
LSU guy, football guy, experienced.
You might
guy.
be able to do better. You can do a lot worse, but it cleans up some of the film of the hire. It makes it a little bit more attractive.
Now I don't know.
I know who my boss is going to be.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I don't know who he's going to hire as football coach. Who the group is going to hire as football coach? That's right. I'm holding it to myself. Maybe the second segment. Tell everybody about what's going on here in Modesto, and then I'll tell you when we come back.
Of course, we rotate here in the Go Eat the places. Okay, as far as Roca Pizzeria, Modesto. Hey. I did it the last two Thanksgivings, man. Yes, indeed. Loaded up for the holiday. Let Roca do your holiday cooking for you. Make memories with your family and friends this Thanksgiving by ordering Roca's Heat and Serve gourmet spread from fridge to table in under 2 hours. So you talk about available for pre-order now through 5 p.m. Saturday. That's right, 5 p.m. Saturday before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is on the 27th. Pickup is on the 26th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The bundles like the Roca's Holiday Table with the whole smoked turkey, 6 classic sides, gravy, good company pecan pie feeds 8 to 10. The whole smoked turkey and pecan pie is another bundle. You can do a la carte. The whole smoked turkey, turkey gravy, the sides like cornbread dressing, sweet potato casserole, which is outstanding. They even tell you to put the meringue in the freezer, Charlie, till serving time. Put it right on so it's really fresh. Details, Charlie, details.
Yeah,
potatoes au gratin, green bean casserole, cranberry chutney, the herb focaccia. Oh, in the Black Friday eats as well. Smoked brisket, Roca meatballs, Brussels sprouts, mac and cheese, spinach and artichoke dip. It's good. It is flawless execution when you go pick up. They got the refrigerated truck right there, and boom, they got you on a list. It is in and out in a couple of minutes, and everything is easy to order on their website. So, hey, man, Roca Pizza, Roca for Thanksgiving Thanksgiving food this Thanksgiving.
Live at Modesto, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
1950 Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, hardy plank, and vinyl siding and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. So go where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. They're an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Let Sammy's Grill do the cooking for your holiday feast. Fried or rotisserie turkeys with all the traditional sides. Pepperjack, crawfish, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, boudin rice dressing, mac and cheese, and more. And for dessert, white chocolate bread pudding or pecan pie. Order a la carte or bundle up with our turkey feast that feeds 8 to 10 people. Call or stop by either the Highland Road or Prairieville locations to place your order today. Orders must be made 48 hours prior to pickup. Let Sammy's Grill do all the cooking for you this holiday season.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons at 3 on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we remind you that the show is available on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. And that is brought to you by Supreme Rice, supporting our Louisiana farmers since the 1930s. For more information, go to supremerice.com. Today is the SEC teleconference. Frank Wilson, of course, now doing that for LSU as the interim head coach. Two big pieces of information came out of that. Number one is that Whit Weeks is doubtful, yeah, is about the best way that I could put it. He says he's optimistic about Carius Kern, but Whit Weeks not so much, more doubtful. We'll see at practice. I'm hopeful, but not sure. That does not sound like a guy that today's Wednesday is going to play 72 hours ish from now. So the optimism at the beginning of the week about getting Whit Weeks back seems to have dimmed a little bit. Carius Kern, he thinks, has a chance to play.
What's his hindering? It's been this long.
Whit Weeks. It is a bone bruise on his ankle, and as I understand it, it's the kind of the higher part of the ankle, so it's painful as hell. It's just you can't push off on it, you know. I can't tell you any more than that.
I know. All I know is like Dr. Albergamo told me a long time ago. That foot heals so slow.
Yeah.
You're on it.
I didn't see it, but it's the ankle, and it's a deep bruise, and it just hurts like hell. What can you say?
Okay.
Kern, they're more optimistic that he can play. If not, I'm guessing you're going to see some combination of DJ Chester and Weston Davis. Makes it a lot harder for LSU in what was not going to be an easy game to start with.
Auburn and LSU, their first interim game of the season. Auburn goes to Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt is could be a vulnerable spot. I mean, this is a tough 4-week stretch for Vanderbilt. They have been in some games, huh?
And
they
all
kept 3 of these games, even though they were down 34-6.
They
got their hands on the ball,
Mm-hmm.
with 30 seconds to go. So, I mean, that's a lot of juice.
I thought it was a lot last week. That's why I picked Texas.
Oh, no, it was.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's a week later.
It's much more. I mean, they're just not. This is uncharted waters for that program, for this team.
Right. I would expect not a terribly different offensive approach for LSU. Auburn, I don't know. They haven't been able. They're going to change something.
LSU, we don't know. LSU will be committed to balance.
They'll run the ball more.
They will.
They'll run the ball more.
I mean, Frank lets you know, and I mean, you have. That's the only way to give that offensive line a chance. Man, they just have to. Hope you can get some production. Doesn't mean they're going to be effective running the ball. Doesn't mean that once they get down it, but early and when the game is in hand, or I'm sorry, just in the balance. Um, they're going to be committed to run. I'm convinced of that.
And at Auburn, all off season and all through camp, what did you hear about Auburn's offense? Once you got past quarterback, receivers. They got the best receiver, the talented receiver, talented.
The defense
And
has good personnel too. It was his best roster.
it was yes,
It was his best roster.
and I would imagine that they would try to get the ball to some of those receivers, but
guy
they just
throwing
haven't
it
been able
just-
to.
and they tried to make a move last week with the backup, and he was worse than Arnold, I would think. But the one that humored all of us, including Max, months ago, they made a statement about it again. Well, so and so's taking over all the calls,
Yeah.
first, second, and third down. What? What?
That was crazy when we heard it. It was crazy, and it no matter how much they did it in its execution, it produced one of the worst offenses we've seen from a head coach who is supposed to
Arnold
be
was really bad, though. He's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But really, you got a guy calling first down plays. Well, how do you sequence plays?
that never made
How
any
do you,
sense.
it's just, and let Charlie even admit, big win for Auburn. I'm like, it's Baylor. You can only run that quarterback draw so many times before they take that away. And
He never developed.
No,
he just
no,
never developed.
they were. I was shocked, and this is one we got right. I was shocked. I'm sorry. I know Duke was quick. I know Duke, gave him a 2-year deal. I mean, they had to give Arnold something similar. They had to.
I guess.
Not now.
Right,
I know, but
right.
go back. Don't go back.
He was a highly recruited kid. I felt about
He was
when-
injured. They had
yeah.
a ton of injuries. There were people that thought they could fix him. Mensa was more set, but a lower level, and But there were. I'm sorry. It had to be in the same area code as far as. And who is Auburn going to go cheap on a damn quarterback hire or quarterback acquisition in the offseason?
I don't claim to have any inside knowledge of this at
Duke
all.
beat him.
Duke beat him. Duke beat him. Duke did one of those things like with your boy, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, when he got Matt Rule in. Like, you come in here, you're not leaving till you sign this thing. I don't care what I got to put on it. It seems like that's what Duke did with Mensa. It's like, we got you on the phone, we got you in the building, we ain't letting you out.
They beat him.
Yeah, they beat him.
And that shouldn't happen because Auburn's think Auburn's got more staffers than Duke?
Yes. And if they didn't before, they damn sure will now.
I mean, but if Mensa is quarterbacking for Auburn, that's a pretty good roster, man.
It's a way different team. It's
they're
drastically different.
Conservatively in the top 15.
Because you're
Know
right.
exactly
the
where
defense
they
is
might
good.
be top. They might be 7 or 8. They might be 11 or 12. They're in the top 15.
The defense is good. They may
Defense
be
is
worn.
good.
They're worn down by this point in the season.
Yes, of
but
course.
that's some talented. And again, maybe they were overrated, but it's not like they don't have any talent out at wide receiver.
No, they got talented wide receivers. No, they have, and then the Missouri game where they finally puts a couple on the money, they dropped, including 8. I mean, one was for a touchdown, one was for a critical third down that would have set them up for one more first down, chip shot field goal to win the game, a walk-off. So, I mean, critical drops when finally Arnold delivers the ball. But no, they that all. You don't think Indiana has pushed their deal up a notch? You know,
There's no question.
What about the most coveted one in Oxford? Where are they if they go with Simmons the whole year? A loss or 2? Huh?
Yeah.
1 for sure, probably 2. 1 for sure, probably 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think. Hell, they almost lost the one at Oklahoma because they put him in for 2 plays.
Yeah, that's how much better he has been. And that was they fell backwards.
They were scoring plays.
No, but they fell backwards into Chambliss.
Chambliss, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Auburn catching 6.5, by the way, at Vandy this week.
I've noticed.
I know. Sharing with the audience, Jimmy. I know you know.
We will tomorrow on Friday. That game will be in my 5-pack. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get with our long-standing team at Legacy Title. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Natalie Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose my man, Chad Reynolds, in Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Modesto, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Crowstead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Crowstead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Ponto and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics, and
Okay, just making sure. Thanks.
This is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson, Edward Jones, member SIPC.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Big Dog, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Just had some traveling. Got here to Colorado yesterday, so
Okay.
all settled in and getting ready for the game on Thursday.
How many miles you put on that truck every year?
Yeah, I mix it up between the truck and the and I have a Mercedes GLE, so
Okay.
I have to have Mercedes on this travel.
All right,
so,
what casino?
yeah, you put
what
enough on,
casino
that's
you
for
got the
sure.
Mercedes loaner from on your points, huh?
Yeah, that was from the Ameristar here in Blackhawk, Colorado.
He won it on another raw flush, right?
No. He's getting comped. I mean, some kind of way. I know Randy, so he is very, very smart at working this. You have to. To do this stuff. But wait, give me just a general rule of thumb. We all have like a little casino with a member card, what they call players card or whatever. It's for. Give us a little tip to our audience on comps. Just a basic that you cannot afford not to do.
Oh, you definitely have to sign up to start with, and the basics. If you're, whatever you like to play, just make sure you're always getting rated. Make sure you see what you're getting for your points. Make sure you use your points. Usually, always with these new slot cards, you get some kind of extra money as well. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. Like I'll promote Circa. In fact, if you sign up for a card there, the first day you can play and you can get up to $300 extra.
Okay.
That's something that, those first perks, you can usually go to casinos and kind of gamble for free. And then after that, if they get you in the door, then it's
right.
It costs you a little bit more. But
same applies
it's always good to get those perks.
Same applies to mobile sports books, right? Sign up. Use your points, your bonuses, your sign up bonuses, and then if you got a little left, I mean, we can continue. But I mean with Louisiana, I think it was the first month or two they lost money because they
By
just,
design.
Yeah, by design. Yeah. By design, get people signed up. So
yeah, that's all customer. They're trying to equate customers, so that's all part of it too. And yeah, definitely, decide which sports book, which casinos you like the best, and then patronize them. And they might have different. They all have different things. So, and the sports betting as well.
All right. The other thing, is this the busiest trade deadline in the NFL we've had? It sure seemed very active. But your point spread values, your power ratings, did you have to adjust any positive or negatively yesterday after the trade deadline?
Yeah, definitely a win, I think, for the Jets here. You don't always see this many big trades in the trade deadline, but I think they made the right moves here, getting all these picks and trying to rebuild. I mean, if you're bad, you want to be really bad. So I think it was a good move for them. As far as adjusting their power rating, I think you got to put them as the lowest now, right?
Okay.
Right below, barely below Tennessee. So then, of course, I think your guys' Saints are coming third as far as the worst teams, but you got them three, and then of course I like some of the moves we'll talk about. The Eagles made a nice move getting that linebacker from Miami. That was a good move for them. Seattle, picked up your wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think that'll fit in pretty good, getting that speed there. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the Colts paid too much, of course, for a Gardner, but who knows, he might fit in pretty good with Coach Lou's defense. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, I mean, we call that what I think. Wasn't he the best coach on the staff at Cincinnati, and they let him go for those years, Randy?
Oh, most definitely. You're seeing the problems they're having on defense this year. And of course, we can talk about that game at the end there, them missing that tackle on the dang tight end there at the end, but a little frustrating. But yeah, you definitely see that Zach Taylor, makes some fundamental errors.
Talking about
coach and a play caller, so you see that as well.
Talking about Shaheed and maybe the impact he can have and how he'll fit, and this is why you don't see as much, because to sort of get integrated of a different piece mid-season football, especially at the passing game, it could be tough. I mean, there's a learning curve, and you might not ever get it till the following season with a true full off season and training camp. But Shaheed, Kubiak, you had to believe that he had to push for this as well. It's his system. Shaheed has been a part of his system, so the learning curve may be reduced in this situation. I think it's a big big plus for Seattle.
And I do too, and I think it's a very specific role he's going for. If he was going to be the number one receiver there, I think that'd be a lot harder. Jackson Smith and Jigba is having, I think, the best season of any receiver in the league, and to put him on the other side to essentially be that deep threat, I think is a very specific role for him. I think this is going to work really well.
You got a quarterback that could throw the ball
Yeah,
vertically.
yeah.
You know, so he could push it downfield. So two-part. Where is Darnold in your quarterback ratings? 32 guys are starting this Sunday or this week. Where'd you have him?
Yeah, he's always been kind of a Jekyll and Hyde guy for me. Of course, he's come on now. That time he spent with Shanahan in San Francisco really helped him, I think, for confidence-wise and getting better. So, and then, of course, now he was with O'Connell last year, and that really helped him, and he had the big season till he faltered there in the last two starts. But, yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of him. You know, he's getting up. He's right around top 10 quarterback now, and, you know, he's putting up those numbers the last couple of years and not making too many dumb sacks, dumb turnovers, and trying to do things too much. You see that a little bit still in him and in a couple games, a couple situations there, but you know, I like what I see so far, and surprised that he's done it so fast this year. I thought it would take a little bit.
Man, look, man, we don't know game to game. I mean, players have good – the level of dependency, you know, is what you have with the better ones. But I think easily he's top 10 this year right now. He's had a great season. So, and the other one, before we get to your picks, where would you have Jacoby Brissett?
Oh, like I always said, I always thought he was one of the top backups and, you know, borderline starter, you know, better than these younger guys that, you know, we see starting now. And I always thought he was, you know, pretty reliable, you know, and we've seen him play, but then we've seen him also, you know, play once he plays for a while. It seems like he regresses a little bit.
Yes,
we'll see if that happens here with Arizona, but I like what they did, and of course we'll see. They get a big test this week against that Seattle defense.
So you might say low to mid 20s, you know, ahead of the younger quarterbacks and things. I'm almost pushing him to sort of push in the middle of the road, the middle of the pack. I know one guy who has him maybe higher than most people, and that's Harrison's dad. I mean, he let his feelings known on the passing game under Kyler Murray. I can tell you that. That was some pretty rough comments from a guy that's Charlie, would you say has a reputation to be pretty mild-mannered, pretty soft-spoken?
I don't think I heard him say. The only guy I heard him talk less when he was a star receiver was Sterling Sharp, who would never talk to the media. Other than that, Marvin Harrison was about as quiet as he gets.
I think Marvin Harrison and Otani run a close race on how much I've heard of them. So anyway, Randy, let's get to your picks. Let's start off. Minnesota at home against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, you got 3-5 versus 4-4 here. Still, the big concern for me with this Baltimore team is their defense. You know, they're still missing still have some holes here. We've seen them outgain last week against Miami. Of course, they're going to have a little bit more rest in this game. You know, they had to rely on those turnovers. Otherwise, that game would have been probably a lot closer. You know, and then we saw a Minnesota team, a pretty impressive win, winning in Detroit, you know, getting a lot of injured players back, of course, on defense. And I like what I've seen out of the offense, you know, controlling the ball and controlling the clock a little bit, which I think they'll do here, and frustrating Jackson and the offense here with Flores. Flores will probably have a pretty good game plan to try to keep him in the pocket and make him a passer, which has kind of been his downfall over his career. So I see getting plus points here, you know, big advantage here for Minnesota at home.
All right. So next one we're looking at is New England. They're hot. I mean, they win again, win on an missed extra point by Atlanta late, and then they turned it over at the end to secure the victory. But we thought that, you know, boy, the same old thing. When a team looks really awful, you might want to back them. And Atlanta did cover the money last week after looking terrible against Miami in reversal as well. But now Tampa Bay at home here against New England, looking at 2.5 and 3. So if you like the Bucs, it maybe a chance that 2.5 might not be around much longer.
Yeah, definitely shop around here. We got 7-2 versus 6-2, very good matchup here, and you got a Tampa team coming off a bye, and of course the next pick we'll be talking about another team that's coming off a bye that I really like, and getting some injured players back, and of course New England off some of these games, their injuries are starting to add up, especially on offense. With some of those weapons, pretty questionable in this game. So still deciding if New England is a elite team or not. They've had a pretty easy schedule. They did have the big win versus Buffalo, but as far as they've kind of got lucky as far as their matchups against weaker teams here with the 7-2 record. So liking Baker Mayfield and company here to exploit this New England defense a little bit at home in the heat and the weather there in Tampa Bay. Get a northern team traveling down. Never a good situation usually in the past. So,
Randy, what do you make?
Good spot here for the Buccaneers.
What do you make of Baker's little mini slide here after he appeared maybe not the odds-on favorite to win the MVP, but a lot of people, a lot of voters said a couple weeks ago if they had to vote now they would have voted. But the Lions game and other ones. So, what about this mini slide from him?
Yeah, I'm not too concerned with that. I think Detroit had a pretty good game plan. Of course, he had some banged-up receivers. I remember Evans got hurt pretty early in that game, and he had to adjust with some of these other guys, and he might get Godwin back in this spot here. And then, of course, the rookie wide receiver that was injured, he should be at full speed in this game, and maybe even get Bucky Irvin back. So he might have a lot of weapons to use. So this is looking like a pretty good spot here against this New England team that, if it wasn't for Drake London, I don't think Atlanta would have hung in that game.
How good was he Sunday?
It's phenomenal.
He was awesome Sunday.
And I was a little surprised yesterday that the Patriots didn't make a move. They got a quarterback on a rookie deal. They're in contention for a receiver yesterday at a mid-round cost. Wouldn't Shaheed have helped them a little bit?
I want you to bring that up to Massero on Friday. That's your little surprise.
Oh. Feed me to the Lions, why don't you?
Your other receiver, Olave, would have maybe fit pretty good.
I would have been much more pleased if they've shipped Olave for the same price that they did for Shaheed.
They could have shipped them both. The only reason I was okay with them shipping Shaheed was I knew they weren't going to re-sign him. So if he's going to walk out the door at the end of the season, you just didn't get something for him. I'd have rather kept him, but it didn't seem like that was going to happen.
All right, Monday Night Football, your last one. We're looking at the Packers 2.5 at home against the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles here. We got 6-2 versus 5-2-1. Another team off a bye here in the Eagles. Nice trade pickup for them as well with the linebacker there from Miami. I think that'll fit in. Their defense wasn't getting the pressure on the quarterback that they like. So then we saw Green Bay have this tough loss versus Carolina last week. And then losing the big tight end Kraft and Jordan Love's security blanket. His wide receivers are kind of, I don't know if they can dominate the Philly defense and attack them like a team that can beat Philly. So, and I also like Sirianni's record versus NFC North is really strong here. So I like this spot getting points here with a Philly team that could go into Lambeau and get the victory.
All right, Big Dog. Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. Great stuff. Get back in that Ameristar Mercedes, man, and drive safely, okay? Enjoy your stay in Colorado. Great stuff as always, Randy. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck, everybody out there.
Don't forget our friends over at Go Chevrolet in LaPlace, Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine. My buddies Lee Carney, Nick Richard, the Certified Body Shop. How about this? Just mention my name at either location for VIP pricing. So, and I don't just talk about the vehicles from Go Chevrolet. My Tahoe came from Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. So personalized. Hey, how about the concierge service department, man? When we were doing the show over at Chris's Specialty Foods, I mean, they came up, picked up the Tahoe, had some electrical work that needed to be done, brought it, dropped me off a loaner. A couple of days later, delivered the car back to my house and exchanged it for the loaner. I mean, as simple as it can get. Mobily charged me for it. Boom. I mean, as pain-free of a service. You ever, those horror stories, you're sitting in a service department for 3, 4 hours. No, they understand this. My buddies Lee Carney, Nick Richard at the Go Automotive Dealership family. Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine.
Live at Modesto, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Attention vehicle owners, before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen, near Perkins.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Mentioned it was a busy day of the trade deadline. Jimmy, was the second busiest trade deadline in the NFL going back to 1990. There were a couple more trades in 2022. It's also, this is a cool trivia question. Sauce Gardner went for 2 first-round picks yesterday. Since the merger, there's only been 2 players traded for multiple first-round picks in season. Gardner was one. The other one, this trade also involved the Colts. We talked about it during the break.
Yeah, I guess the two that I remember, Steve Walsh coming to the Saints. I was at the game. The first game he came in relief against the Browns.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the times because it was during the Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice era, and it was Walsh Baby, a full-page ad. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, just some of the things you remember. And then, of course, the most legendary, the biggest blockbuster in the history, the most impactful trade ever was the Herschel Walker trade. Was that off season or during season?
No, it was during the season, but it
was no multiple ones.
It was a 1, a 2, a 6, and 5 conditional picks and 5 other players. Now, the one we're talking about, Eric Dickerson went to the Colts. You want to know how good Eric Dickerson was? They gave up 3 1s, 3 2s, and 2 players to get Eric Dickerson. Bills were also involved in that trade. It was a 3-team trade. Dickerson still holds the NFL record for all-time rushing yards in a season. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Scott Rabelais with us here at Modesto Live, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks in every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in Louisiana who are 21 or older. Licensed through Horseshoe Bossier City and Caesars New Orleans. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Let Sammy's Grill do the cooking for your holiday feast. Fried or rotisserie turkeys with all the traditional sides. Pepperjack crawfish cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, boudin rice dressing, mac and cheese, and more. And for dessert, white chocolate bread pudding or pecan pie. Order a la carte or bundle up with our turkey feast that feeds 8 to 10 people. Call or stop by either the Highland Road or Prairieville locations to place your order today. Orders must be made 48 hours prior to pickup. Let Sammy's Grill do all the cooking for you this holiday season.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, 2 local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Football and Fireball is a match made in heaven, and by heaven, of course, we mean Twin Peaks.
Hello.
Spice up things next game day with a shot of our favorite cinnamon whiskey and wash it down with one of our famous 29-degree drafts. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. Let's bring in Scott Rabelais from The Advocate.
And we return here at Modesto, and of course partnered with Roca Pizzeria. Your Thanksgiving table available right now for the bundles available for pre-order. The holiday table is a complete gourmet spread, smoked turkey, 6 sides, the gravy, pecan pie, or you can go with the whole smoked turkey with the extra bundles. You got classic sides, cornbread dressing, corn, sweet potato casserole, potatoes au gratin. Of course, the Black Friday eats include smoked brisket, the Roca meatballs, mac and cheese, spinach and artichoke dip. All this available for pre-order. Take all of the work out of it from fridge to table in under 2 hours. They give you complete holiday tables and instructions included. Available for pre-order now through 5 o'clock on Saturday, November the 22nd. You pick it up on November the 26th at Roca Pizzeria. So, our Thanksgiving bundles here from Roca Pizzeria, part of the family here at Modesto.
Sounds like Rabelais needs to put down those cooking utensils.
He's
in the
already
background. It sounds like
ordered.
he's working in the kitchen right now or something. Man. Let Roca do the holiday cooking for you, Scott.
Man, you don't want me around the pumpkin spice or the stuffing or anything like that. I'm good at I'm not even good at carving the turkey. I have to be honest. I usually my son-in-law is a doctor at Our Lady of the Lake, so I usually let him do the
There you go.
Yeah, I would say
He's good
so.
at surgery.
Good hands
Yes.
is sort of a key ingredient for a good surgeon. Yes.
Rab, you've been at this a while. The last 10 days for LSU, from the Brian Kelly firing to the governor's press conference to Woodward's, whatever you want to call it, firing is essentially what it was, but to the president's hire, to the quick ascension of Verge Ausberry from interim athletic to permanent athletic director, the chancellor's position being reinstated. You were around for crazy days at LSU, but I think you were a student at the time. So give me your historical comparison on this before we get into the nuts and bolts of this.
I mean, recency bias is a very real thing for all of us, obviously. But I've never seen a 10-day period or however many days it's been like this. And no one has for a very long time. The last time LSU fired the football coach and the athletic director basically the same time was 1955. They got rid of Gus Tinsley and they got rid of Skipper Hurd, who was LSU's first athletic director. By the way, you want to know what Gus Tinsley's buyout was? They owed him 2 years left in his contract. You want to know how much it was? Take a guess.
Free root beer for a year?
$25,000.
$25,000. A lot of money in 1955, I guess.
Yeah, Brian Kelly is they're paying him $741,000 a month until they get all this settled, and so he makes that in just over 24 hours.
How much was Pat Sullivan's buyout that LSU did not agree to buy?
It was less than $1 million.
I think it was 400,000. So 400,000, maybe 450,000
right.
sticks in my head. Yeah, and they had the press conference called. They had the press conference called.
We flew to. I got to do a column on just all the shenanigans. That's a good one. You remind me of, Jimmy. All the coaching search anecdotes and everything.
On
campus. Flew to Fort Worth. And I talked to their athletic director, Frank Windegger, older guy. I remember. I talked to him in the athletic department. He said, "Hey, $400,000 is a lot of money to us. I'm not giving that up."
And neither was Sullivan.
That won't get him a deep snapper now.
No, and
That's right. But to your question, Charles, this has been fairly unprecedented. I was in school. I was working in sports information actually during crazy days at LSU, the Theo Horford stuff, and the Dale Brown stuff. And that was a long, extended thing. Broadhead and all the all the stuff with taking the free flight from older Mr. Manship, on the plane. That was a conflict of interest, ethics violations, and all this stuff, and NCAA investigations and things. But just in a concentrated period, this has been something that we've never seen. However, LSU, whether you like the decisions or not, the people they've picked or not, is getting that alignment back that you've described. They hired a president, they hired a chancellor, which was a bit of a surprise move that they hired, split those duties. I think a good move. The LSU system is so huge. I think it probably is a good move. And then apparently he's named Ausberry the athletic director. So that's going to be music to some people's ears, some people not, but it is moving forward to get more traditional hiring environment for the next football team.
Well, it's just a matter of debating on how much or the percentages like we talk about all the time. But, the publicity, the governor taking it the public route and all of the shenanigans and humiliation last week damaged the hire. And the new board members that have kind of taken control and stabilized some things have been damage control. Have they cleaned up all the mess? We'll ultimately see with the hire, but this was a big shift back to sort of in some, these board members are appointed or on there because they have a little pride in a university, the program, and the state. And the pride took a beating last week around the rest of the country and through the media. No doubt about that.
And it's going to continue somewhat. I mean, people bring it up, as you did, Charlie, as I was going to have to in my column, that Virg Ausberry was served a suspension and was, received some sanctions from his role in the whole sexual assault scandal at LSU, a number of years ago. He paid a penalty to some, and they moved on. Some people, was it enough of a penalty? They wish he was fired. That maybe, but that's for people to decide individually. I think sometimes we're not very sometimes we're very forgiving as a people in this country, and sometimes we're not. And so, but that's for people to decide. But as far as trying to, they always go against type, right? When they make these big coaching changes, so they're going to look for someone more Louisiana centric or more aware of the culture and how things are done here. And having an athletic director who's from Louisiana, Virgil's from the area, played at LSU, been in the athletic administration for over 30 years, been involved in every coaching search going back to Nick Saban, is something that will help LSU in that regard. I'm not saying, who they hire might not be everyone's choice, but it's going to help, and I think they're going to make a more informed hire than just going for the biggest, flashiest name that you could possibly get.
Verge has his ear to the ground very well. He can read the LSU room, if for no other reason than he's been here that long. What was one
showed up at the women's game last night?
At the women's game last night. It was one of the big criticisms of Scott Woodward was that he went to the football games. He didn't go to much else. Okay, you rarely saw Woodward at men's basketball or baseball or really anything else. Verge was at the women's game last night, and who was the most?
Same people criticizing him being too involved.
Well, right. No, you're always going to get something. Yeah,
I'm just making a point.
Sure, and no, it's a valid point. And the other thing was, who was the most publicly upset coach last week? They all stayed pretty much to themselves, but Kim Mulkey didn't go to her post game after the exhibition because she was, in the words of Bob Starkey, heartbroken.
Even before that, though, I had some contacts and know that she was hot.
Scott Woodward hired her.
Oh no, this was before. This was before Woody was let go.
Okay,
this was with the governor's public comments. Yes.
Yeah, she was upset.
Yes.
I think they all were upset, but she was especially upset. And what did she say after the game last night? I'm paraphrasing. Verge is one of us. This is his school. He's from Louisiana, all that stuff.
She was consciously refrained, though. Yeah. I would say more guarded than I've ever seen her in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
Guarded is not something you describe, but Scott Mulkey in front of a microphone.
Right, Scott.
Rarely.
Scott, what type of differences do you think you'll see with Virg Ausberry running the athletic department as opposed to Scott Woodward? Because the two of them worked in tandem. They were very close friends. What changes do you think, tangible changes, do you think he would like to make?
I think maybe paying a little more attention to the program holistically. I think is going to be important. As y'all said, as people have said, Virg has worked in a lot of different parts, in a lot of different capacities, a lot of different parts of the athletic department. That's what you're going to do, and you've been there over 30 years. And I think, look, I don't think Scott Woodward cared necessarily that much. I think he hired Tim Mulkey, but I don't think he was thrilled about it, having to pay that much money for a women's basketball coach. I've heard he wasn't that thrilled about having to give Jay Johnson a new contract after winning the College World Series, much like 2 titles. I think, that you have someone who's going to be a little more, attuned to the whole program. Because look, football is the most important thing. But I think LSU fans have come to expect, going back to the Bob Broadhead days, when Bob Broadhead was the first athletic director who said, I want to win at everything. For all his faults, he said, I want to win at everything, and they did. And he brought in Skip Bertman, and he brought in, a lot of, Pat Henry, and a lot of successful coaches. And I think we'll see a little more of that. Obviously, the success has been there. Won 4 national titles in the last 2 years with baseball and women's basketball and gymnastics, and so that's a good sign. But I think that not everyone at LSU was thrilled with the way Scott Woodward ran the department or how much interest he paid to things besides football. And I think we'll see a little more of that from Virg Ausberry, because I think he's a little more attuned to that.
I was in Biloxi last weekend with the football team off, and with LSU playing baseball there, they had inter-squad games Saturday and 3 7-inning games on Sunday. There were a lot of LSU baseball fans in that hotel. The ones I ran into, universally, okay, do not mess with the baseball program. Do not mess with Jay Johnson. These are people that are going 2 hours out of their way to go watch an exhibition in November for college baseball. They're invested, okay? Don't mess with Jay Johnson. Don't mess with the baseball program. And the women's basketball program has got similarly invested fans, as does softball and gymnastics especially have invested fans. Yeah,
that's why I have to cover them, because they fill it up and they're very successful, and they're going to be again this year. So yeah, it's important. I mean, people want to succeed at everything, and that's not a claim that some other schools can make, like Alabama. They're very good in football and they're very good in men's basketball, but women's basketball, no. Gymnastics, not what they used to be. Baseball, not what they used to be. So it's important here. It's part of the overall culture. And look, it's getting harder to do that. Obviously, it's more expensive, and I don't think Jay Johnson is happy with. We know he is, right? He's not happy with the piece of the revenue sharing that baseball has been allocated. Might that change under Virg Ausberry? We're gonna have to see. I don't want to speak for him, and obviously we haven't spoken to him on subjects like that. But I think he might be more willing to look at those kind of issues than Scott Woodward.
You got to make.
Scott Woodward didn't do a lot of good things. He did, but maybe more willing.
You got to make those decisions. And Jimmy, I'm going to ask both of you this question. Josh Brooks' name came up for a hot minute in this, the athletic director at Georgia, because he is from Louisiana, and he quickly took his name out really before it was ever in. But
a good situation.
Okay, at Georgia, the football program is a behemoth, okay? What else really matters over there? They haven't been good in men's basketball for a long time. They just had a resurgence in baseball. Their women's basketball program is not as good as it used to be. Neither is their gymnastics team. It's football, and everything else is okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no. Just as long
and that's
as
how they run
is,
things there. That's how they run things there.
I mean, you would like to win everything, but can you? I mean, that would.
Can you afford it?
Yes, you really can't afford it. I mean, if Texas A&M wants to win in track and field, they come scoop up your successful coach.
Right.
I mean, if Vitello, man, I've heard him speak publicly since he left. He's called it a mess with the NIL and stuff like that. He's tired of going up against LSU. with their resources. So it's I don't know if you can win big, and I have to mention. I mean, opening day of college basketball, and you had a lot of lopsided matchups. Not really good when you had about 2 or 3 that were good, and that's it. Will Wade was turned aback. How many people were in the stands when he came out to warm up? It was unbelievable in Raleigh. So you win, people get excited. I used to walk into Alec Box Stadium, and nobody checked a ticket at any when I was a student before Skip Bertman came here. Well, they win now. Yeah, everybody loves a winner.
Scott, your thoughts about you got to hear Frank Wilson again today. There's a football game this Saturday, I suppose. LSU and Alabama. What did you take from what Frank said today, and what chance do you give LSU this weekend?
Yes, we interrupt this coaching search to bring you the LSU-Alabama game, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time this game seems so insignificant? I mean, based on what's going on in the athletic department as a whole.
21.
And at LSU in a whole.
21, Ed was fired, and LSU, with a very bad team, went there and gave Alabama all they wanted. Max Johnson had one to the end zone, that would have won it, as I remember. So since then.
I think that they're going to play a lot better than they played against Texas A&M. What's the spread? 11.5. I'm
10.
not going to pick LSU to win. I'm certainly going to pick them to cover with a puncher's chance to win the game. I think they're going to play a lot better. I think they're going to play a lot freer, a lot looser. Obviously, they're going to be committed to running the ball. They pretty much told Alabama, "Hey, we're coming to try to run the ball," But the style of running plays hopefully will be different. Less RPOs because that's not cool. That kind of thing. So it's going to be a little different look. I think they're going to, like I said, the teams can play a little freer, and they're not going to have this tension hanging over their heads. We had player interviews yesterday while the whole Ausberry news was breaking, and we were in the team room, the big auditorium, and Wilson Alexander's in the back just feverishly typing away. Talking to players. It was wild. Like I said, it's been wild for the last week and a half, and no one wanted to really say. I don't think too many players. None of the players will come out and say, "Yeah, we're glad Brian Kelly's gone." But I think just the sense you got was this. There's a breath of fresh air. It's a new start. I think one of the players, maybe Menser Delane, said it feels like a fresh start, and I think they're going to take advantage of that. If they can have some success early in the game and hang with Alabama, I think get out 14-0 early on, it could be a very discouraging situation. But if they hang with them early, maybe get a scoring drive, maybe could take the lead early, and they're going to carry the fight to Alabama, who's playing very well, but they have been had this year as well. So I think they're going to give a good showing of themselves. And look, you have to consider if Frank Wilson can win the table, he'd have to be someone they would have to give consideration for the job. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think they have to consider him, and it starts obviously this weekend in Tuscaloosa.
Scott, safe travels to Tuscaloosa. We'll talk to you now. Who knows what could happen in the next 7 days? They could pick up and move the university to Barbados.
Scott, if you're there Friday afternoon, come up, meet or drive. I'll be getting my grill on at my son's house. So come on by.
Yeah, let Jimmy feed you. Thanks, Scott. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet, not too far here from where we are at Modesto on Burbank. So David Henry, Prentice Wilkes, David Campbell, Hunter Creed, Nicole Glover, Heath Meir, our great team of bankers at United Community Bank. Stop on by and discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Modesto, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. They can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If You need lumber? No problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Port. Top-notch tools and expert advice. It's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen, Burbank, and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, a chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Good job, Wes, last week. 2-0 in the NFL, 2-1 in college football. Good job. I hope you had a profitable weekend.
We ended up having a profitable weekend, even though I did go against my Hoosiers with those points and had to buy out very quickly because they broke the turtle. And Jimmy, you and Charlie and everybody listening are used to hearing the golden pipes of Brad Nessler doing SEC games. Now he's doing Big Ten games, which is kind of weird, but that's a side note. And he had a very good line when Testudo, the Maryland mascot, the turtle, was leaving the field. He goes, "That tortoise has had enough." And he had definitely had enough. And he was leaving the game. He was like, "Hey, goodbye, see ya." And they showed him walking off the field, and I was like, yeah, when that score's 55-10, and it's second and third stringers that are still running the ball down his throat, you know, I'm not used to seeing that with these guys, man. I'm not used to seeing that, but I'm starting to get used to it.
Charlie, we had to jog our historical memory as far as Tiger Stadium embarrassing losses and that A&M loss where they took over. And it's, you know, it was, I think Hunt said it was in his lifetime the worst, but we go back to that Spurrier 58-3.
58-3.
Did they lead 3-0 in that game?
They definitely kicked a field goal on their first drive. I don't remember if they went 3-0 or 7-3 because Curley started the press conference with, well, we had that first drive.
No, I know. Yes.
So
But
either 3-0 or 7-3.
But the Turtles had the 3-0 lead before the roof caved in on them. in College Park at Bird Stadium on Saturday. See, there was your small window to middle or hedge in that one.
Gotta hurry.
So, yes, indeed. Who are we looking at this week in college football, Wes?
Yeah, we just mentioned one of the program. Let's go right to your home base in Baton Rouge in college football. I'm taking the Tigers this week, +10 in Alabama. And, you guys have more intel on what's going on than certainly I do. So I'm from a couple thousand miles away. But I get a sense that LSU is going to play hard for Frank Wilson, who, of course, is the interim coach. We'll see what the governor has to say about it, who's going to be the coach, apparently. But nevertheless, I think they're going to play hard for this guy. He's a Louisiana guy, born in New Orleans. You guys know his biography. Of course, coached on Les Miles' staff, coached there at McNeese State at Lake Charles. So it's kind of similar to, I think, that Florida situation last week where Billy Gonzalez is a true Gator. Was on 3 different staffs with Urban and with Dan Mullen and then subsequently with Napier. So I think LSU, facing Alabama, they're not going to mail it in here, even though, the playoff hopes are long gone. But they can still have a winning season and go to a bowl game and do all that. And I think playing Alabama, I got a feeling you're going to get the best effort out of LSU this week.
It's a lot of effort by Frank to bring in ex-players, and now the rallying a troop and knows after taking a game. Pride is a word that a key term, a hot button top sort of word right now with LSU. So no, I think that look, they still got a block, okay, which is a major problem, but they will play with more pride. I mean, I don't know if that'll affect the results anyway, but I think the pride has been pushed up against the wall this past week by some of our leadership. All right, LSU +10, and who else we looking at, Wes?
Yeah, a couple more. Let's go Wake Forest +7 at Virginia. It's just the ACC, and that's how it's been all season. When you get a team, it's like, okay, watch this team. They're the team to beat in the ACC. Like it was Florida State earlier this year, and then they lose. Then it was Miami. Then they lose. And you've seen it, I think, about 3 or 4 times this year with teams where it's like, okay, this is their time. It was supposed to be Louisville beating Virginia off that big win at Florida State. They lose. Now I think it's Virginia's turn, even though Wake Forest, poor performance at Florida State, and you could kind of see that coming, that Florida State, that was a good buy at the bottom spot, and they just ran out Wake Forest. But Virginia, I want to give them credit, but they've been very, very lucky this year, I think, to be 8-1. They've gotten a lot of the breaks this year that they haven't in years past. So laying 7 to the Deeks. Give me Wake Forest off that bad performance. So that's another one. And then let's go with the home dog in the Big Ten that didn't get a lot of respect in the AP poll, but did get ranked in the CFP rankings last night. The Iowa Hawkeyes taking 6 or 6.5, depending on your store, with Oregon coming in. Low total, 40.5. Inclement weather. I don't think that weather is going to be that bad for Oregon, considering they played in a rainstorm against Wisconsin a couple weeks ago in Eugene. But I think this is a tough spot. I think you got an Iowa team that's kind of fighting for a little bit of respect. That feels like they've been a little bit disrespected not being ranked. That's a good defense with one of the best defensive coordinators in the country in Phil Parker. And then they always seem to score on special teams in a game like this, a punt block or a kickoff return or something. So I think this is going to be tough sledding for the Ducks in Iowa City.
All right, so the Iowa, Wake Forest, and LSU. Speaking of Wake Forest, playing Virginia, yes, Virginia, I've been kind of chasing them a little bit myself. That Louisville game where they had 2 defensive scores. Wes, real time, what were you thinking when, with 35 seconds to go, the Virginia DB makes the pick? Did you think he was going in? And also Gunnar Stockton, did you think he was going to take a knee in these late minute covers that happened over maybe like 10 minutes of real time?
Yeah, well, the latter one I was on. I was not on the Virginia-Cal game, but there were some poor you-know-what that was on both of those sides and got 2 coals in their stockings, shall we say, with those. But I was on Florida last week. We talked about that. I felt that Florida should have covered the game. Now, the circumstances will say, oh, that's a bad beat on Georgia. But you recall on the previous drive where Florida had completed that pass and he caught it in his forearms, and they ruled it incomplete. So I felt that they got that ruling wrong, and the booth official was also wrong.
Yeah.
But, Gunnar Stockton though. Gunnar Stockton will get a nice gift card in the mail from me though for going down. I said he's a G, man. He's a G. That G on his helmet stands for being a G because he goes down at the 1, and I certainly needed that one. That would have been a tough one to take if you were on the Gators.
Wes, both Charlie and I, we had to go do a show in Dublin, Ireland for St. Patrick's Day at the Jameson Distillery. So we turned it into a London-Paris trip. We attended the Louvre together. I don't care the jewels, the Mona Lisa. I didn't see anything more beautiful than Gunnar Stockton genuflecting at the 1-yard line. Okay, so who we got in the pros this week, Wes?
Yeah, we're going to go. Let's go to Monday night first. I laid Green Bay -2.5. I think you could lay them on the money line as well. Green Bay, horrible performance last week against Carolina. And Carolina fights. I don't know how good they are, but they do play hard and got the win 16-13. So now this is kind of a buy low on Green Bay with Philly coming off the bye. The offense looks like it's getting a little bit better for Philadelphia, but this is a rally spot, I think, for Green Bay. So I like them as a small home favorite on Monday night. And then kind of an ugly dog because you look at the line and you think it maybe doesn't make a lot of sense. That why are the Bears only laying 3.5 to the Giants when, the Bears appear to be on the roll? But I'm going against the Bears here simply because I think there's going to be some regression. And it's especially, I think, going to be in the turnovers. The Chicago Bears over the last 6 games, by the way, are plus 18 in turnover margin. They were plus 3 last week in Cincinnati, and we saw what they had to do. They had to score that miracle on the last drive with Colston Loveland, and they hit him over the middle. Bengals missed a tackle. That Bengals defense is probably one of the worst I've seen in the NFL, at least in the last couple decades. But the Bears somehow escaped with a win, and now they're the favorite. I know they got there in a similar role against New Orleans a couple weeks ago, but Jackson Dart has got something for the Giants. He doesn't have a lot of really good receivers, unfortunately, to throw to, but I think this is a perfect spot for the Bears to lay an egg when nobody expects it.
So we're watching the show Sunday after we do the show, watching the games at the sports book after we do the show on Sunday, and so I got Cincinnati. All right, and they get the onside kick. Nobody gets onside kicks in the NFL anymore. They come down and score, and then the tight end gets loose, and I lose. And Max says, well, it's not a bad beat. I'm not on the air right now, Max. I don't want to hear this right now, Max. Okay? So don't talk logically. Forget the scoreboard right now. I don't care. I don't want to hear that right now. Anyway, what's your overall thoughts now? Wes, we'd like to get your opinions. You follow so closely, and now you're in the blue-blooded Indiana. Forget that they had the most losses in college football history. They're on top of the world now. But anyway, what's going on with LSU now? They got the university president and a permanent AD within a couple of days. So what's your thoughts on what's going on with this proud program? Elite? Are we still elite?
I think that they are. I still think that there's a lot of money down there. And, what I read, maybe Shaquille O'Neal is going to come off a little bit of that fortune and put some money in the collection plate to get that right, get the NIL right, get the coach right. I still think LSU, it's one of the best jobs in America. And, if Lane Kiffin does leave Ole Miss, I think he would go to LSU before he'd go to Florida because I think LSU is a better job, quite frankly, than Florida. But I think that they're going to coach. Like LSU always gets, or for the most part, I think they mostly get good coaches, and it's the jobs in high demand. I think that program is going to be fine. I don't see them like dropping off the face of the earth by any stretch of the imagination. There's good football talent down there in the state of Louisiana, really all through the state, especially in New Orleans. So they can recruit. It's just getting the right fit, and that's been the debate. And Kelly won everywhere he was, and he won a little bit at LSU too, but didn't seem like the ideal fit. But there's a fit out there for LSU. I'm not too worried about that.
The Kelly hire was as safe as you can get. I'm sorry.
The resume was there.
Who knew the rules were going to change, since you hired him in roster building and stuff like that? But it's not close. The most accomplished football hire that LSU's ever made. Now, it doesn't, there have been guys that never coached before. There was Pete Carroll was, 6th or 7th on USC's list when they hired him.
He had been fired twice in the NFL.
Well, but no, it just didn't work out.
Hey,
So
Wes,
there's no locks in this whole coaching search. We get it.
Wes, your Colts, before we let you go, your Colts made the big move yesterday for Sauce Gardner. do you believe that a lot has been made of this, that this signifies the Colts are all in long term on Daniel Jones, and you're Colts guy, you're an Indiana guy. Is that what it signified to you, and what does that move do for them? It bumped their Super Bowl odds a little bit. I know that.
It absolutely does. And you guys have been in the radio business for a long time, so I'm sure you know the famous late broadcaster Paul Harvey, where he would go, and now it's time for the rest of the story.
Yes.
Because the initial story was, okay, what does Sauce Gardner mean for the defense? What are they going to do? Did they give up too much, giving up 2 first-round draft picks? But the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say, is that they've committed to Daniel Jones, because nobody values draft capital more than Chris Ballard does. And when you're giving up these picks, it's like, okay, we're settled on this guy at quarterback, because you've given up any leverage if you need to go acquire somebody, whether it's in the draft or in free agency. So they're in on Indiana Jones for better or worse. And, Daniel Jones was kind of due a bad game last week, and that's why I like Pittsburgh. I just felt like things were going too right. Like everything is going right. And at some point you're going to hit a bump in the road, and they did it at Pittsburgh last week. So I do think that the Colts feel like they could be all in, because nobody's really great in the NFL. I think there's very good teams, but there's no, elite team where it's like, oh, my God, they're just going to steamroll through everybody. But I would still tolerate the Colts third or fourth in the AFC. I'd still have Buffalo and Kansas City ahead of them, and maybe even a very healthy Baltimore if they're at full strength. But Colts are right in the mix here. And I think, look, you got to go for it. I think at this point, you've got a good team, you've got a good offense, you need help in the secondary, and maybe Sauce is going to provide that.
At Wes Reynolds 1 on X. Give him a follow. Thank you, Wes. Good luck to you, buddy.
You bet, guys. Thanks for having me.
Don't forget our friends at the law offices of O.C. Brown. Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, dedicated to protecting your rights, fighting for the justice you deserve. His great team of attorneys. Thank goodness for Dana Brown in his law office, because, what is a letter of testaronomy? What is secession? What is this? Yes, these are things you need when your loved ones pass. And, man, thank goodness they have been there to kind of ease the stress of this more than stressful red tape and these type of procedures that you have to go through in these times. That's right. Another instance of where Charlie or myself have used Dana's team of specialized attorneys at different stages of our lives for different reasons. Do like I did. Call 343-1111 or go to ocbrown.com and schedule your free consultation today.
Live at Modesto, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Ponto and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We're also brought to you by the Thibodeau Store. Black Friday deals are now on the website at thethibodeaustore.com, which gets you to all four properties. The Thibodeau Store, the Pierrepont Store, the La Rose, and the Lockport stores just recently opened. Black Friday deals, including lots of, first of all, there's over 125 different deals that are available on the website. The first half dozen or so involve security equipment for your home. The outdoor security cameras and the keyless entry door locks are all on special right now at thethibodeaustore.com. Also, obviously, lots of hardware items. Sawhorses are on special right now. Painting equipment, extension cords. Too many to name, but check it out at thethibodeaustore.com. It'll get you to all of the different properties that they have. Same day pickup on almost all of these items and delivery available on a number of these items, and that includes lumber out of the Pierrepont Store. So check them out. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux for the Thibodeau Store, Highway 70 in Pierrepont for the Pierrepont Store, and thethibodeaustore.com. Saints made a pair of trades yesterday. We got the first one before we got off the air. Excuse me. The second one involved Trevor Penning. Right before the deadline, they shipped him to the Chargers for will be a sixth-round pick. So the Saints get a little bit of draft value recouped. So in the 26th draft, they're sitting on a pick in the first round, which is currently number 1 overall. Man, that Jets game is big. Second round, third round, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. Remember that they traded their seventh-round pick for Davin Godchaux. They also traded one of their fourth-round picks to Denver for Devon Valet, who they have not used hardly at all. And then in 27, where they have also traded a pick for Jalen Polk, who's been on injured reserve all season. They pick up an additional choice there. So that was the choice that they got for Penning. More draft capital, Jimmy. that's a good thing.
Well,
they weren't going to re-sign either one of those
The bad
guys.
part of that is you're getting a 6 for what you invested a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And well, if you can get anything for that guy who, I mean, let's face it, it's got cut him, huh?
They weren't going to re-sign him.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I mean,
his contract was up.
So get a 6 instead of nothing.
6 instead of nothing. That's basically what it is.
You're being a seller.
When they did pick up his option, the writing was on the wall. They tried to salvage it by moving him to guard. He's been
this is
not
part
good.
of what we wanted preseason.
Mhm.
To be a seller.
No,
I mean, sorry. I mean,
I wish they would have. I wish they would have.
It's got to get worse before it can get better.
Yeah, I wish they would have, sold off more guys yesterday. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I understand you got to have takers, and it's got to be right. I mean, you can't just give people
Yeah,
away. But yeah, outside of the 2 tackles that they've drafted in the first round the last 2 years, there's nobody else that I would have said, no, don't trade them.
I know you said that you're convinced that they were not going to re-sign Shaheed. Okay, but if I have my druthers. I just want the guy. The Chris Olaves in the NFL are more a dime a dozen than the Rashid Shaheeds. Shaheed can do things that very few, if any, can do.
Yeah.
Olave, it's kind of he can be really good, but his hands are not dependable enough to where he's solid. He should be better. We get that.
Yeah.
He could be better, but he hasn't been, and we've seen enough. And he's got a wrist injury as well. I think more of Shaheed over the next 5 years than Olave.
I think of Olave
3 to 5 years, whatever it
yeah.
is.
And they picked up the option on Olave. I'm very nervous about them going all in on a long-term deal with him. I think as a number 1 receiver, he's near the bottom. I think as a number 2 receiver, he would be closer to middle to top 12.
Definitely bottom as a 1.
As a 1, no, he's
bottom.
near the bottom as a 1.
Come
I
on.
think he'd be a very good 2. I think he's a very below average 1.
He's just not dependable, whether it's health or hands.
Yeah,
You take your pick.
If
This
it's
is a bad
me,
combination.
I would have rather traded him, and I understand that they wanted they wanted at least a 3, and apparently couldn't get it.
Guys that can get over the top, that are not afraid to catch the ball over the middle, that catch the ball in traffic with their hands. I mean, dependable hands and that type of over-the-top speed. Ain't many, man. Ain't many.
I told you I would have rather signed Shaheed, but if they weren't going to do that, go ahead and get something for him.
But generally speaking, you got to be a seller. You
Yeah.
have to be a seller. Wait, that's not a given with this group.
No, it's
okay.
not.
All right.
They're
That's not a given.
This season is going not exactly, but pretty much the way I wanted it to go. This is what a rebuild looks like. We've been saying that since the summer. Okay, you're going to lose most of your games. Some of them you're not going to even be competitive in. You're trying to see if you got some young guys in there. They have put some of those young guys in there. Now you're on the quarterback. You're obtaining some draft choices. You've cut some of the fat off of the salary cap. You got some more to do this offseason. The last move is the one that's the most important, the one they still haven't made. Getting more draft choices is great. If Mickey Loomis is making the picks, I got no hope.
Well, okay, and that's where I'm getting to my point, and that is it takes a football knowledge or acumen to kind of evaluate a lot of front office moves, okay?
Yeah.
Anybody, even Miss Gale, whatever, can see you've invested a 1 and you're getting a 6.
Yeah.
And that's scoreboard. Kind of like your GM scoreboard is your salary cap, situation.
And your draft picks.
Where they rank there, in last year's, well, that can't be good. Who's your general manager that's overseeing that? So, yeah.
And she'll definitely be able to see the Superdome the last 2 months of the season. I don't think it's going to be too pretty.
Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Now, I mean, it's pleasant. The weather is awesome. So you're really not thinking about, an AC repair, and you're not thinking about heating safety check. Man, Total Maintenance came to the house yesterday, gave me a window of time. They contacted me when they're about 20 minutes out, came over, and 35, 45 minutes, something like that. He did everything, ran the heaters, make sure everything was in place, talked about some of the advantages of doing some ultraviolet, lights and things like that. So, look, man, it was easy peasy, very professional. Text convenient, let us know. And friendly, polished technician as well. So, man, I can't talk well enough about the folks over at Total Maintenance. Again, Lucas Ragusa, he's been involved in the heating and AC business for a long time, so he understands what it takes to put a quality operation together. Again, now also get great deals on replacing that unit that's over 10 years old, that has been repaired recently. You're going to get a much better deal now than you will in the summer when it breaks again from Carrier, American Standard, Dakin, or Rheem. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
Live at Modesto, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Rufino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette.
Whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from the original Walk-Ons, Burbank at Nicholson. Joining us from Las Vegas, Dwayne Colucci and Matt Humans. We'll get you ready for a big weekend in college football. Live at Lunch from Walk-Ons, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
This is Charles Hannegriff for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Dakin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Modesto on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Pelicans got in the win column last night. They were back in action tonight in Dallas, 8.5-point choice at the Mavs. And Maction, if you didn't get enough Maction last night, some more Maction tonight. 2 games, both starting at 6
Pels
o'clock.
got bet last night, didn't cover. How about that?
Which one?
The Pels. They got
right.
bet.
They were a favorite.
No, they moved them from like a pick 'em a 1 to like 4.5 or 3.5 or something.
Yeah. Zion Williamson was out. His hamstring hurts. 7 to 10 days.
I'm done going. Well, free tickets, I'll go. But done spending one dime to go sit there and get told 45 minutes before tip that he's not playing.
So I'm telling you, for the next 7 to 10 days, he's not playing. He'll probably pass that.
Oh, well, no. You don't know when he's playing. You don't know any of these cats. So
No.
it's funny that some a lot of the veteran players or ex-players, man, but Jordan, I mean, you kind of, will the NBA listen when he speaks? I mean, he got to do.
He laid it out pretty good. He says, I play because somebody came to see me play.
Paid.
Paid, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, but
that means something. What's for Thanksgiving lunch?
Yeah, well, Thanksgiving at Roca, again, of course, from the Go Eats family, Modesto and Roca, where we rotate, bi-monthly. But I've used them the last couple of years, and it's really good stuff. I highly recommend it. The Thanksgiving menu
30.
for Roca, the bundles, the turkey, all the sides. The Black Friday eats that includes smoked brisket, meatballs, Brussels sprouts, mac and cheese, spinach and artichoke dip. Available for pre-order now through 5 p.m. Saturday, November 22nd. That's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. And pickup is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. the day before Thanksgiving. And it is very, very efficient process.
Tomorrow next door at Walk-Ons. We'll see you then. Stay tuned for Hunt on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Have you been arrested?